Hi guys, and welcome back to another Dot Race video, and today we're going to be playing MotoGP 21. Round 14 of our Moto2 World Championship is upon us, and it's time for Aragon in Moto2. So starting in pole position is Gardner with Lowe's and Di Giannantonio on the front row, Schrotter, Bezzecchi and Fernandez on the second, Roberts, Ramirez, Arbolino, Vieje, Vietti, Ben Schneider, Dixon, Ogura, Fernandez, Bobier, Canet, Luti, Garzo, Baldassari, Shiring, Chantra, Grant, Navarro, Buliga, Manzi, Montella, Della Porta, Corsia, Reynas, and Barry Baltus at the back of this Aragon GP. So here we are, starting from 23rd place, waiting for the red lights to go out, and they are out. Power setting 3, we must go for it now. Now is not a time to waste. We just have to go for it and try and get into the best possible positions in the early points of this lap. Trying to get to the inside of Tom Luti, a bit of carnage there with Iagora and Jake Dixon, my teammate, to the right hand side. We go for turn 2. Can we get around the outside of the Petronas SRT, Roy? We cannot quite. We might be able to get him on the left hand side. Not good enough, but we do manage to take a good couple of chunk of positions as we'll dive for the inside of Jake Dixon now as well, trying to then get through on Tom Luti and Augusto Fernandez next. We just have to go for it. No matter what happens in this one, it is damage limitations. Try and take some valuable points for the championship standings. Remy Gardner's in pole position. Remy Gardner's now leading this race. We knew it was going to be like this, but we've already made 8 positions already, which you can't grumble at too much. Actually make that 9 positions as Grant makes a wonderful move up on the inside of Thomas Luti. He'll continue to get ahead of the Swiss man, and we get Chuck on the left-hand side. Beautifully done there for Grant. Now the Elfmark VDS rider, Augusto Fernandez. Can we get him onto the really difficult and innocuous part here? Up on the inside we go for Fernandez. We go for Ben Schneider as well. That's a double, as that's a little bit of a track limit warning there. Granted, we did touch the track limit warning signs, the green. We did touch it. We abused the track limits, but we are trying to just at least chase them down. We actually abused it again there. Another little mistake, but we'll try and dive up the inside of Celestino Vietti. And I'll tell you what, that is a beautifully executed move. We are now up to 11th position. We have now done 12 positions already in this particular lap alone. Brilliant start there for the Petronas SRT, the former Moto2 World Championship leader. Now onto the left-hand side for turn 16. We're onto the left-hand side for quite a while now, so we'll be hooking it up the power as soon as we get in behind Tony Arbolino and just go for it. Nice exit out of there, getting it onto the accelerator quite early, and now we're chasing down Tony Arbolino and teammate Xavi Vieje. Can we go around the outside of Vieje? Not quite. Here is one of his home tracks, if you will. He's a Spaniard, of course, and Spain is his home. Now onto the right-hand side for turn 2. Can we go around the outside of Xavi? We tried to do it to Jake Dixon, our other teammate, but we couldn't quite get the job done. Will we get him on the left-hand side here, just after Carlos Checa? Now into turn 4, up in the inside, we get it done. Brilliantly done there for Grant. Grant is now up to 9th position and has sight of Remy Gardner, Lowe's and Di Giannantonio all ahead of him, just a couple of bike lengths away. So we've had that start that we desperately coveted. I'm so pleased that we got it. Now going into turn 7, we're ahead of... Oh, a little bit of contact there with Marcos Ramirez on the American Tenor racing bike. Goodness me. I hate the collision detection in this video game sometimes, but it's alright. We're going to dive up the inside into turn 9, and now we have an American rider, Joe Roberts, just ahead of us on board the Italtrans. Now into the left-hand side for turn 10, we're going to try and stay with him and use some valuable slipstream to try and spring ourselves ahead of him. Can we get ahead of him? We are slingshotting ourselves into the braking zone. You better believe we get the job done. Going into turn 12, that is brilliantly done, and look at these riders here. What a plethora of talent right now. Gardner, Lowe's, Di Giannantonio, Schrotter, Bezzecchi, Fernandez, Grant. I'm beginning to stutter. There's just so much talent as we dive with the inside of Fernandez now. Can we hold the line? Not quite. Fernandez too strong. Power setting 3 nonetheless. We'll get him behind the Red Bull KTM IO rider and try and chase down both him and Marcel Schrotter just a little bit for more bike lengths up the road. Now alongside Fernandez, a little bit of contact there, but it's quite okay. Both men are still on board their respectable motorcycles and certainly no damage at this stage. But onto the left-hand side for turn 17. Full acceleration now. Getting behind Fernandez and potentially have a lunge going into turn 1. The lap time of a 1:53.063 is the fastest of the race so far, and that goes to the way of the Petronas SRT Calyx of Grant. and we'll try and chase down Schrotter and them, but I can't get through on Raul Fernandez, and the couple of times we've just attempted it. We're going to be aiming for turn 4, at the very least turn 5. Into Carlos Checo we go for turn 3. Lost a little bit of momentum there as we slid the rear, but going into turn 4, no chance of a lunge there, but turn 5, yes, we'll get the job done. Aggressive move to get ahead of the fellow rookie there. Not the move I wanted to do, but Raul Fernandez is going to fight back. This is really not what we need. This is not what we want right now. Fernandez is going to try and lunge up on the inside for turn 7. These two really need to pack it in. If we continue to fight like this, there's no chance we're going to chase down Marcel Schrotter, Di Gianantonio, Lowe's, or even Gardner. But Raul Fernandez is still in the way. We couldn't even get my signature patented move going into the reverse corkscrew. We're just going to be absolutely frustrated now, just trying to get through on Raul Fernandez. I might even have to use power setting 3, but I think we've got him here going into turn 12. A very frustrated Grant is an aggressive Grant, and we don't need that right now. But we go into turn 12 quite beautifully, actually. If only we did that in qualifying, we wouldn't have to start so far back. We really struggled in qualifying, but same cannot be said for this race so far. Now onto the right-hand side for turn 14. Gardner still leads the way from Sam Lowes and Marco Bezzecchi, with Di Gianantonio and Schrotter not too far behind, and Grant's a further 1.5 seconds behind him. We've got a lot of work to do. Raul Fernandez has given up the fight somewhat. He probably knew that he was struggling a little bit, and he knew that he wasn't going to be able to keep this same pace going. But for the time being, turn 16, up into 6th place after 3 laps. I'm pretty happy with that one, let me tell you. The 4th lap, we're in a good position here just to take some good points. That was the only goal in today's video. We knew it was going to be so difficult when we did the qualifying, starting 23rd position, just finish in the points, finish as high as possible in the points to take maximum contribution. But right now, 4 laps in, we might have a chance of potentially getting on the podium. I don't want to, talk too soon or put too much pressure on myself, but I'm confident we might be able to steal a little bit of a podium position here. Now, Sam Lowes is right behind Remy Gardner. It doesn't look like anyone's really challenged Gardner. Everyone's been sort of keen to stay behind him and let him do the donkey work. A very good strategy, I will agree with. But going on to the right-hand side for turn 7, we are closing in on Marcel Schrotter. We could very well be getting ahead of the Liquimoli Intact team. I cannot wait for that lunge. Are we lining him up for turn 9? Is it going to be? Not quite. I want to go for it every time, but it's so risky. It feels like you're going to lose the front into it. And I do it every time, and it looks good, and I'm like, oh, I feel like I was losing it. But honestly, we should probably... Oh, Lord Almighty, that's a bit of contact there, a little bit of a side nudge. Just someone's just gone down behind us. No idea who it is, of course, because you can't see. But onto the left-hand side for turn 12, we are now into 5th position. Half a second quicker than our best lap time, which was set early on with a 1:53.063, which was then bettered, of course, on the next lap by Marco Bezzecchi, as he now sits comfortably in 3rd position. Getting in behind Fabio Di Gianantonio, power setting 3. Let's go full throttle. Like the emoji, the hand full wrenched back. Let's get in behind Fabio Di Gianantonio, and let's try and steal that 3rd position. I'm going to be very pleased if we can get ahead of him rather than later, because of course we then now have to sit behind him going into turn 1, 2, 3 or 4, as Remy Gardner went for a wider line there, as Lowes and Bezzecchi went for the complete opposite to what Gardner did. Will that benefit him, and will it be a disadvantage? Grant goes across the line with a 1:52.691. He is indeed the fastest man on track right now, as Di Gianantonio getting very, very defensive there ahead of the former Moto2 World Championship leader. The Moto3 champion doing everything he can just to push forward and to try and take some valuable points. But this is how you respond when you're a World Championship contender. No matter the situation, damage limitations or not, we're going to be fighting out for the podium in every race. That is the goal. That is what you need to be doing to win a World Championship. Look at Remy Gardner. He might not have won as many races as we have this season, but he has been super consistent. And now we're up into 4th position. We could be getting on board with this battle in a moment. We had one of the best races, if not the best race, of our Moto2 career mode last time out in Silverstone. Could this be even better? We have a potential chance of a victory. I'm going to say a podium because the victory is that little bit further beyond. But if we have a chance of a potential victory, that is going to be ridiculous. From 23rd in the grid, let me remind you once again, guys, 23rd in the grid, we didn't even get out of Q1, and we have a potential of a podium here today at the very, very least. It all depends to see what happens now between Gardner, Lowes and Bezzecchi. Bezzecchi looks to be really racy right now, and of course he's been denied a race victory a couple of times this season, and even in real life, he was super quick here in Aragon last season until he binned it, which I was very, very disappointed at. But right now, I would need to be smart with the fuel. If we can stay within range and not use power setting 3 every single lap, we can have a great chance of saving that for the end. Gardner's still into the lead for the time being. He's gone for that wide line again. Is Gardner beginning to struggle with the tyres? He keeps doing that different line to everyone else and then suffering the consequences over the line because that gap that he had is now gone. Is Sam Lowe's going to be close enough for a lunge? Still no change in the timing screen on the left-hand side there. Lowe's and Bezzecchi are right there, though. That is practically a train of just 3 riders. It looks like one whole long bike. That is how close they are right now. I'm on the absolute limit just to try and chase these guys down. We had another good lap there. Not as good as the previous lap, of course, but I'm still giving it 120%, just like the AI difficulty, let me remind you, as we get onto the left-hand side for turn 5. Lowe's is getting racy as well. Maybe they've had enough of staying behind Remy Gardner. Maybe they want to get ahead of the championship leader, as Gardner is defending well, though. Gardner is just racing his race, and these guys are happy to sit behind him from the looks of it. I really don't know what these guys are up to. Bezzecchi looks like he's lining Lowe's up, and Lowe's every now and again looks like he fancies a move on Remy Gardner. So everyone's not sure. There's a little bit out of shape there coming out of turn 9. Goodness me, hearts in mouths moment. We're now into turn 10 with power setting 2. We're going to have to try and avoid using power setting 3 if we can, because I don't want to just put all of it into power setting 3 and then find out we're going to be running out of power. We don't want to be doing that, or fuel, let me tell you. Now onto the left-hand side, another track limit warning there. That's not ideal. Another little bit of a slide as well. Again, not helping our chances of a potential victory or even the podium. I should really say the podium because we need to get onto the podium first before discussing a victory. But I tell you what, it's coming down. The gap is coming really, really down now. 0.8 of a second it is to Remy Gardner, but 6.5 to Marco Bezzecchi just ahead of us. So we're on the back straight, and if these guys are going to go for a lunge, you better believe it's this corner. And Sam Lowe's up onto the left-hand side of the screen there. On the timing screen, he's actually in the first position. Grant runs it a little bit too wide there. Thank goodness there's no track limit warning given there. I would have died if we had another one, because we really are on the limit. And it looks like Bezzecchi is now taking second place. Remy Gardner, rub your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, because he's in arm's reach. We might be able to take some more points away from Gardner. If we manage to take some points away from him, I do believe we might be in the championship. We might be the championship leader. I can't even speak properly now, but we get into the right-hand side for Carlos Checa, turn 3. Are we going to be close enough for a lunge by turn 9? That is the goal right now, as Bezzecchi, he looks like he wants to have a lunge on Sam Lowe's. Look at how well we've closed in. 23rd to 4th right now, guys. If my maths are right, that's 19 positions we have made up in 6.5 laps. Beautifully done, or 7 laps, however many it is, I can't even count. But for the time being, Sam Lowe's leads, Bezzecchi second. Could we have a lunge on Gardner? I don't think we're going to be close enough, but as long as we can get into the slipstream. Ooh, a little bit tight there. A little bit too tight to the apex, and once you do that, you can run the risk of sliding the motorcycle, as you've just seen. If the motorbike slips a bit too much there, you'll be going down. We're 1.1 seconds clear from Marcel Schrotter, so this is an all-out war for the podium. One of these men are going to be disappointed. One of these men is going to be triumphant. Who is going to be both? Who is going to get the job done here today? Sam Lowe's leads with Bezzecchi in second, Gardner in third, and now Grant in fourth. Is he going to have a lunge up onto Gardner? He is, bet you. Oh, it's going to be close. Gardner went round the outside. That was fantastic. Goodness me, I expected me just to bump into the side of the Red Bull KTM, but we didn't need to, because Gardner went very well, but we got ahead of him. Grant is now up into the podium positions. Bezzecchi leads, Lowe's in second, Grant in third, and Gardner has been demoted to fourth. It's amazing what can happen in one lap as Gardner, oh goodness me, I didn't even see him coming there. Good job Grant didn't flinch as much as I did. But we're going to cross the line now, and we do hold on to third position. There is 4 laps remaining of this Grand Prix. Bezzecchi leads, Sam Lowe's in second, and Grant's ran it wide into turn 1, trying to just defend against Gardner, because we can't afford for Gardner to get back ahead of us. But I'll tell you what, that one mistake has made things very, very difficult to chase down Lowe's and Bezzecchi ahead of us. The tyres aren't looking too grand right now. They're doing well, but not too grand. And we had a fantastic lap on that last one. We have been very quick these past 2 laps. A 153 flat almost and a 152.8. We are in some serious fast pace right now. If only we could get that job done in qualifying. things would have been a bit different here today, but I'm very pleased we're having a very, very entertaining race right now, and we're so pleased to be ahead of Remy Gardner. A quick cheeky look behind us just to see where Gardner's going to be positioned, to see if he's going to try and get me on the inside for turn 9, but of course he's not going to be close enough. We'll try and get on the power very, very quickly here, get into turn 10 and just absolutely go for it. At least we could do is potentially just claw a couple of tenths away from Sam Lowes and Marco Bezzecchi, but right now I think we need to focus on the task at hand, and that is to reclaim the championship lead. I'm not sure if this is going to be enough points. I think it will be, but honestly, I'm not too sure, and I don't have the acumen to start working out the maths right now. But for the time being, Marco Bezzecchi leads, Lowes in second, Grant in third, Gardner in fourth with Schrotter, Di Gianantonio, Arbolino, and Jake Dixon cracking the top 10. But I tell you what, you never would have known when we started from 23rd. Finishing up third place will be absolutely brilliant. I don't think we've got enough in us now to chase down Sam Lowes and Bezzecchi. Let's just prepare ourselves for battle, and we'll just do what we can to avoid getting beaten by Remy Gardner. This championship is very, very important to me because at the same time, guys, we still haven't secured a MotoGP ride for next season. So if we are going to have to stay in again and do another Moto2 season, I wanted to be defending the crown, let's say. But I'm still confident we'll get a MotoGP ride, but it's just a case of doing everything we possibly can now to make sure we can try and get something towards the end of the season, because actually I need to ask a question. The transfer market window has ended and I've got no ride for next season. I do believe there's another option towards the end of the season where teams will offer you. If anyone knows, let me know in the comment section down below. Otherwise, I'm going to have to make a rash decision and join another team that I'm thinking about. So let me know in the comment section down below. I do believe there's an opportunity right at the end that you can sign with a team that is interested in you, but I'm not 100% certain, so let me know if you do know. But back to the antics at hand. 0.2 of a second is Remy Gardner behind. Actually, it's well 0.1 of a second. Remy Gardner is not giving this one up at all. And the more and more that we battle and the lap times drop, Marcel Schrotter, Di Gianantonio, they could potentially have something to say about this third position. I don't feel comfortable, I'll tell you guys. I think we're riding it on the ragged edge right now, just trying to survive the onslaught of it. I just know it's coming from Remy Gardner. You know what he's like. He's one of the best riders, if not the best rider in Moto2 right now, not including myself, and we'll see what he can do. I'm not sure, you know. I'm really nervous about this one, especially being in the lead. Usually, we like to do the attacking. We are the pursuers, we're the sharks, and then we'll take the prey. Like in Portimao, though, we had the opposite situation, where we were leading the Grand Prix quite comfortably and just trying to defend every single time an opportunity arises. So we're going to be doing the same again now, but I tell you what, I'm a little bit nervous. Looking back every now and again and just seeing Gardner just staring at me, waiting to take that lunge. When's it going to come? I don't know. Do you know? It's going to happen sooner or later. Let's just see if we can defend. 2 seconds is the gap to Marco Bezzecchi, so there's no chance of a victory or even a second place because Sam Lowes is right on the rear of the Italian. Not sure. There is Remy Gardner. Is he going to try and get the lunge onto the right-hand side? He is, buddy. Oh. Grant slammed that metaphorical door in the Australian's face and is trying to get away with his third position. This is a bad result for Remy Gardner when you think about it. Pole position, leading the Grand Prix comfortably for about 7 laps, and then all of a sudden beaten, not even to the podium. This is going to be a devastating result for the Australian, and it's definitely not over at the front, so who knows? He could still be on the podium if something goes wrong at the front, but right now it looks like Marco Bezzecchi is actually getting away from Sam Lowes. So for the last couple of laps here, there doesn't seem to be any changes unless Remy Gardner conjures something up. I just noticed as well, I had to double glance there, but Marco Bezzecchi set the fastest lap of the race in that previous lap of a 1:52.689. Yeah, Sam Lowes is definitely not catching up to that Marco Bezzecchi now. We got a little bit wide there onto the rumble strip. I had a look behind me and Gardner had a look behind him as well. He's thinking about a lunge. He's wondering where Marcel Schrotter is. I'm playing it very safe now. There is Gardner. You can see him at the bottom of your screen there. He is charging, waiting for a possible lunge. Where's he going to go? Onto the right-hand side, we now go for turn 14. Very nice, gentle braking going into turn 14. We'll aim to do the same for turn 15 and then get the power on going in down the back straight. We're just going to have to try and keep that gap above a 10th. Keep it above a 10th, keep it above 10th and a half. As long as we have the fuel, we'll use power setting 3. If we don't, we'll drop it down to power setting 2. But with only the lap remaining after this one, we can go power setting 3 now for the here on out, forever, until this Grand Prix ends. I tell you what, guys, This is my 4th recording of a video today, and every single one of them has been absolutely brilliant. The action has been so good. I'm so pleased with this. I'm hoping you guys are enjoying it too. We've managed to get the 0.4 of a second lead to Remy Gardner. There seems to be a bit of a change behind us, but I didn't quite see who it was. But going into turn 2, if we maintain 0.4 of a second, 0.5 of a second, we've got this one in the bag. We just got to keep pushing. We're on the home straight. We just got to hang in there and complete an absolutely ridiculous stuff. 23rd place, ladies and gentlemen, up by 20 positions to 3rd position. I can't ask for any more than that. I'm super pleased with that because I was quite concerned that this Aragon GP was going to be over the second we qualified in 23rd position, but I'm pleased to say that that isn't the case, as you just witnessed in about 20 minutes of video. As we get into the left hand side for turn 9, a little bit wide there, a little bit of a mistake for the British rider. This is going to be another British podium there for Sam Lowes and Grant, but for the time being, the gap has been cut down to 0.2 of a second for Remy Gardner behind, roughly teetering around 0.3 of a second on the precipice of 2.5 of a second as we brake very, very heavily and late into turn 12. Nicely done. Can we contain this? I think we've done it. I'm going to confidently say now I think we've got it done. We're going to be going onto the back straight with power setting 3 with full throttle. This is going to be gorgeous. Marco Bezzecchi looks like he's done the job as well. Sam Lowes will take a 2nd position, which is great for his championship challenges because he definitely needs the points right now. Same as Marco Bezzecchi, to be honest with you. And yes, we're on round 14. It's still a lot of left in it for this championship. But Marco Bezzecchi is going to tackle the final corner now. Grant is going to tackle it as well, and he's ahead of Remy Gardner. This is going to be a magnificent finish. Triumphant victory for Marco Bezzecchi. Sam Lowes in 2nd, and Grant does the business from 23rd to 3rd place. Magnificent finish. So as mentioned, Marco Bezzecchi wins here for the first time this season. Sam Lowes in 2nd place and Matt Grant finishes on the podium in 3rd place. And of course, the big loser, Remy Gardner, who started in pole position, but unfortunately for him, couldn't take the podium finish here today. Disappointing result for the Australian. So looking at the championship standings, Remy Gardner still stains that top spot in orange, with Matt Grant trailing by 1 point now, and Marco Bezzecchi has moved himself up into 3rd place after a heroic victory here today in Aragon. Looking at the team championship, that is still stained in orange as well. Red Bull KTM IO lead by 56 points ahead of Petronas Sprinter Racing, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. So we now celebrate this podium finish like a victory. What a magnificent finish. Once again, guys, 23rd place to 3rd position. Absolutely awesome. I hope you guys enjoyed the video as much as I did. Like, comment and subscribe if you did, and hit the notification bell to be alerted to every single Dot Race upload. Thanks for watching, guys. It's been a pleasure, and ciao for now. Oh, hi. Didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite set your appetite, then why not watch some more Dot Race content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single Dr. Race video.